And welcome back. It's been a week. Some of us were at a little thing called the Gen Con, and we're still recovering, but we're here. Welcome back to Tammeraut's Fate, which is our second playthrough of one of the Saltmarsh Adventures modules, Ghost of the Saltmarsh. I am your Dungeon Master, Anders. You can find me here on the internet at Anders_D_K on the Twitters and most other places. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm going to have my players just real quick introduce who they are and who they are playing as this evening. We're going to go clockwise based on the Zoom chat, so down to Max.
Oh, hi, hey, hello, yes. I'm Max, and I use he, him pronouns, and I'll be playing Thaddeus Thunderfoot, who has fluid pronouns. It's a very fun voice to play, but I have a little bit of con crud in my throat, so please pardon any coughing fits you witness tonight.
All right, and then we are short a Nox tonight, which is absolutely okay. So we're just going to go right along to Cole.
Hi, I'm Cole. Find me at Twitter, Cole Moriel, and I am playing Vela Saras, a blood hunter, Asimar, they, them pronouns, and they talk to ghosts. That's my intro.
We do talk to ghosts. And right on up to Chrissy.
Hi, I'm Christy, she, her pronouns. I play Tiff Sourplum. She's a ranger with a little tube rat or weasel called Torrent. She likes to drink and shoot things with her bow.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And last but not least, Star.
Hi, I'm Star. You can find me at MadRadStarChild. I use she, her pronouns, as does Nyx Korosar, the Wood Elf monk that I'm playing tonight.
Awesome. All right. I think that's it. I don't think we have anything to announce. And if we do, I'll remember later and I'll announce it at the end instead of right now. So I'm going to get us started with a little recap. So the group of you, sort of local group of friends from a tavern right here along the Saltmarsh coast, have been tasked to track down a man by the name of Morley. He's run off with a very significant amount of gold, and to your knowledge has been hiding away over on what is the name of this island that y'all are on?
Firewatch Island.
Firewatch Island. Thank you very much. I'm very prepared for this tonight, guys. Over on Firewatch Island, you've learned through a little scoping around and a little history that Firewatch Island is home to a monk hermitage. I did not learn how to say that over the 2 weeks we've been gone. I should have, but I didn't. This hermitage used to be an old fortress, but was deserted after a attack or battle. The stories vary. It's been disputed over deities in past and is now currently being run by these monks. You made your way across the ocean to the island and were met with your good friend Tiff and your less than good friend, a monstrous Periton. You managed to slay the strange deer-bird hybrid, and have slowly been making your way into the hermitage itself. Upon arrival at the gates, you discovered blood tracks, barred up doors, and a deserted monastery. You made your way around back and found a pair of hags who were using an invisible stalker to protect themselves as they sort of scavenged through and feasted on the remains of whatever is left here. you found their sort of pile of treasures and have made your way back now into the main area of the first floor of this hermitage. You had previously left your friend Vela here, Vela who had been overtaken by a strange paralysis, seemingly out of nowhere. As you sort of make your way back into what you've now determined used to be a scullery, this sort of main floor with a bathtub and a staircase up to the second floor, you find Vela has sort of shaken it off. As you make your way in, the sun outside is just beginning to set, and there's a orange reddish tone to the sky that's sort of filtering in through the opened arrow slots in the walls and the crashed and broken entranceway. You see Vela. What do you do?
Ah, Vela, let me tell you. I tried using me thing on you. Wasn't a ghost. I'm telling you. It's all in your head. Now, whatever did that to you, not quite sure, but definitely was not a ghost.
Are you okay? Are you feeling okay? What's going on?
You're muted.
Whoops. I wake up and this is the first thing we're going to talk about. As for what happened, I'm not sure. That hasn't happened before, I don't think. Not that I remember, but...
Yeah, this place is full of weird beasties. Just got beat up by a breeze and a bunch of old hags.
Yeah, the hags were gross.
Old hags.
Very unpleasant.
Were they in the hermitage?
They was out in the yard. You know where Keen went all alone?
At this comment, you actually see Keen has kind of made their way over to a corner and is just sat down, arms folded, just seemingly uninterested in conversing with the group of you at the moment.
She seems very upset with me. I healed her, and she wasn't happy. I think she needs a moment. Or they need a moment.
We weren't exactly there when she needed us. I think, maybe just leave her here to guard the door and we'll go do some exploring.
Sounds
A
reasonable
slight
enough.
nod of agreement from Keen.
Vela, are you alright to continue?
Yes. I should be okay now.
I help you up if you've been sitting. I help them up.
I feel like my knees pop as I stand up.
Yeah, you're real stiff, Vela. Your whole body is just like achy. You gotta
Oh.
like pop the joints and stuff.
That didn't feel very good.
Yeah, I can see that.
Not really any padded areas to lay your body. Had laying on the table.
Oh, did I technically get a short rest?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna roll a hit die.
It might have been involuntary as you were forced to rest
Right.
by magical
Down.
paralysis, but it counts.
It's like, I have nothing else to do. I'm just gonna sleep. So
Oh. Well, that didn't really help.
You can roll more than one.
Yeah, you can roll all your hit dice if you want to.
I only have one left.
So, as you are all sort of helping Vela up and sort of taking in this building, you realize that you haven't really had a chance to check out really any of the other rooms or look for survivors or look for any signs of what has happened. This main scullery you've handled pretty well, and the front and backyard you've investigated pretty thoroughly. But the actual interior itself, you've not really had a chance to look at.
has the sound of our battle outside seemed to catch the attention of anything? Do I notice anybody?
Make a perception check.
All right, that's 14.
14. So there is just the faintest, and you're not quite sure exactly where it's coming from, but it has to be close for you to be able to hear it. Almost scratching sound, possibly an animal or some sort of almost like claws on stone. But other than that, you don't detect any other commotion or activity.
Okay.
Are there rooms connected to this one other than that big wide open area we explored first yesterday?
There are. There's a hallway. I'm gonna not use right and left because I'm gonna confuse myself. So there's a hallway to the west, and there are 2 rooms to the east of you as well as the staircase and then whatever is upstairs.
Are there tracks that are leading in any direction?
I'm gonna say that last time when y'all were in here, you noticed tracks coming into this room. Someone made a roll last time, and you don't notice any new tracks within.
Okay.
Where particular.
I'm trying to reorient myself and remember
Yeah,
which room I'm in.
It's hard to end an investigation in the middle, so I'm gonna kind of help you guys out a little bit if I can.
You the best.
Yeah, so there are definitely rooms. There's up, right, left, or forward.
I recall there was a bricked over door that I had whacked with my hammer.
Correct. You had not fully smashed through it yet, but there was a bricked over door down that hallway.
Might I suggest we stay together this time?
You mind if I finish my work on the door?
By all means.
I agree with Nyx.
I'm just gonna stay close to you, Vela, if you don't mind. I don't want that happening again.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Not to worry.
And Torin's just gonna crawl off my shoulder and come and cuddle up on you for a little bit.
Aw.
I give him scritches.
Yeah.
He likes you. He likes you a lot.
Aw. I
I'm
love
so
it.
happy.
Sweeten on the tooth rat.
He was in your beard and you didn't notice.
That's what that smell was.
Are you gonna smash the door?
Aye.
All right.
So,
Make
Take
an
a-
attack roll. Plus strength.
That's a natural 20.
Well, all right. I'm not even gonna make you roll damage. You just take. What are you using to smash the door? What weapon do you have in your hands?
I got a great big warhammer.
Great big warhammer. You just take this warhammer and smash, and bricks go shattering inward, and the force of your warhammer actually makes a large crack appear all the way down the bricked-in wall where all the other bricks sort of like separate, and the grout starts to like disintegrate, and then it just is easily with the foot pushed in the rest of the way into a crumbled mass of bricks. As this happens, you see 5 large rats come scurrying out. But more than the sight of 5 large rats, you are all overwhelmed by the stench. As you have actually stumbled into the midden, which as you kind of look up, you can see the hole in the ceiling that things have been dropped down and collected in this bricked off and enclosed space, this massive pile of waste that these rats have been feeding on for you don't know how long is just exposed to you, and these 5 giant rats come swarming out towards the group of you. What do?
Vomit.
Seems fair. Seems valid.
Bonus action vomit.
I'm gonna keep my quarterstaff out, like ready to hit the rats if they come at me.
Torin's hissing at them the entire time on your shoulder right now.
I'm just sitting there like, me too, little buddy. Me too, me too.
Mhm.
Me too.
So
Me
they
too.
come running past, and these are large rats. Giant rats are almost the size of dogs. And they sort of barrel past you. One of them is going to make an attack towards Thaddeus, but the other 4 look like they're trying to just get out. So Thaddeus, for dice. Where are dice? We're under the cat.
Where else would they be?
Where else would they be?
Natural 20s.
Does a 5 hit?
Gee, let me just check my character. No.
That's such a good take on that question.
So this rat goes to try to bite you and just like gets the handle of your warhammer, and you can see coming out of its mouth just like ooze and filth, and it stinks. What do you do, Thaddeus?
I'm gonna kick it.
Okay, make an attack roll, an unarmed strike.
Unarmed strike.
Yeah.
Okay, I love this dice. You just rolled a 20 again. So I do 2
What?
damage.
Yeah.
My strength.
What's your strength modifier?
My strength modifier is a plus. Plus 5. So I do 7 damage.
You kick the rat. Giant rats have an HP of 7.
Oh.
So you just kick it into the wall, and it just dies. You just killed it. The other 3 are fleeing.
That's fine. They can go.
I am victorious. Praise the Stormlord.
So you now have this sort of opened, stinking
Dumpster?
room. You get a better look inside. There's actually a ladder that goes up to the second story in here, and you can see 3 notches in the walls that look like those arrow slots that you've been noticing elsewhere. Bricked and like covered up, the one of them has a bit chipped away, so a little bit of light is streaming in.
Is there any like path through the waste, or is it just a huge pile in the entire
It's a huge pile in the middle. There's no other doors in this room. The only other way out is the ladder if you wanted to go upstairs from in here. There's just a massive pile of
I have a feeling if we just go up the stairs, we might find this room that way, so I don't have to get gross. I don't.
I agree with Tiff. I would rather not go in there if we don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Oh, but at the same time, if someone's hiding something,
But why would they hide it in here?
no one wants to go in.
Torrent, would you mind going? Oh, no. He said definitely not. Sorry.
I don't blame him. We can go
Yeah,
upstairs.
your two Brett just scrunches his face up and little head shake. Yeah, not interested.
I'm gonna take him
For
off Bella's shoulder.
I hold my arm down so he can like walk down my arm back to yours.
what do we
Best
think
friend.
we'll find in this room? Aside from garbage.
You never know. People drop things down the outhouse hole all the time. But I'm not really one for digging through that kind of hill.
Tell you what, if we get through the house and we don't find anything good, I will take a swig of whatever's left in my flask and jump right in.
We're already here. And I'll
Let's,
take a deep breath outside of the gross air and then go in and search the disgusting room.
You're going in. You're searching.
Oh, you're going in? Okay.
All right. Make a investigation check as you just kind of like take a clean breath, roll up your sleeves, and go in.
Investigation.
Yep.
6.
Also, what was it?
6.
Okay. I also need you to make a Constitution check.
Oh.
Oh.
Make an olfactory check.
I guess it's the same. 20.
20. Okay. The stench is a lot, and it starts to sort of come over you and make you feel just a hint of nausea, but you kind of manage to power through it and keep digging, and you do find something hard and smoothish down near the bottom. Do you want to pull it out?
Yeah, I'll pull it out.
Okay, you pull it out. It's covered in filth. It's hard to make out what it is. It's going to take some serious cleaning, but you see just a hint of a reflective metal inside of it, whatever this lump of filth is.
Is
Can
it
I-
bad? that my brain was like, this is gonna be like a fossilized dinosaur poop or something.
I mean, if you'd rolled a natural
Sorry.
1, you probably would have found a poop, but it's all poop. That's
Can
fine.
I take out a water skin and just like dump a little water on it when it's in her hands and try and smudge some of it off?
Yeah, it does this gross ooze thing where it like goes down through your fingers, and it's foul, but it does clean off the surface a bit, and you see it's actually a brooch.
Oh.
It's kind of in a shape similar to a shield, but it is a brooch.
Is there a crest or anything on it?
There is no crest that you notice upon it.
Hmm.
I'm gonna wipe it off on my pants and put it on.
You put it on.
Yep.
Okay, you put it on and you feel this sort of warmth from it for a second. And you just feel a little bit tougher. You just put on a brooch of shielding if you want to add that to your inventory.
Ooh.
Ooh.
What you get for digging through the filth, you get a prize.
I don't know if it's worth it. Germaphobe in me is screaming.
Tiff just looks and
Oh,
says,
wow.
"Oh,
Wiped
it
it off
looks
on my pants. It's fine.
it looks really good on you, Nix."
So
No, I'm
there-
serious. The smell's gonna follow me around now.
There is one door across the way from this small room that's down this hallway, and then there is a far door that goes into the larger of the two round towers. This is the one that actually goes up several stories above the rest of the building itself. What do you do?
You said there was one more small door at the end of this hallway?
Yeah, so there's one more just regular door, and then there's a door into the tower.
Okay, I'll go check out the small door real quick.
Okay.
Is it unlocked?
Is it unlocked? That is a very good question. It is, you turn the handle, and the handle is unlocked, but the door itself, you push to open it, it doesn't open, it's blocked by something.
Okay, can I give a nice big shove and see if I can move it at all?
Okay, make a athletics check.
Oh, that's cat. Hold on. 21.
21. That totally does it. You kind of give it a push, and just one strong shoulder push from you, and you hear a smashing as something knocks over behind it, and you manage to push the door open, and you see a kitchen.
Whoa.
Looks recently used. There's a large fireplace, a brick oven. There's a cutting board with half a loaf of bread that's sort of attracted flies and all sorts of gnats and things around it. And in the center of the room, there's a very empty table. Shelves with dishes.
Torin's gonna go and eat some of the bread, and I'm just gonna go in and can I the table is completely empty, you said?
Yeah.
But it looks like it's been used. The kitchen looks
It
like
looks
it's been
like someone was in here cooking recently. They hadn't had a chance to set the table, but there's bread out. There are some pots and pans maybe over by the oven itself. The fire has like recently burnt wood and coal and things in it, like it was recently burning. There's also an additional door in this room.
I'll head towards that door.
Okay. That door is locked.
Oi, does anyone know to unlock doors?
Bashing it open.
I'm open to that. Does anyone want to help me?
I mean, I had me hammer.
Seemed
Go
to work
for it.
the brick wall.
Go for it,
This
Thaddeus.
is a smash group. I like it.
So which one, what door, what side of the room is this one on?
This door is on the west side.
The side, yeah. So we're moving further away from the stairs area.
Yes, you're moving
Okay.
closer to the tower.
I would like to go back eventually and check out the east side before we head up the stairs. And so yeah, I'll go over and give it a tap. Let's see if my luck's run it. That's a 17 plus my stuff. So
Okay. Roll
do I have to
damage.
math, or is 17 enough?
Roll damage for me.
Warhammer using both hands. 10. There you go. And that's going to be a total of 8 damage.
8 damage. You smash your hammer into the door, and it mostly gives way, but it is still there's massive splintered wood. There's a large hole where the hammer smashed through. But there are still something attached in the door frame that is still locked. You probably have to give it another hit if you want to just smash your way through.
If there's a hole big enough to put my hand through, I'll do that and see if I can find a latch.
Okay, you kind of reach down and around and slide a hand check.
Oh, yes. My best thing. But 0. 13.
13. You do manage to eventually, kind of like moving past the debris, you probably get a splinter or two, but you do find the handle on the other end, and you manage to kind of pull onto the lock until you manage to knock it off, and you can twist the handle and open the door.
Who needs one of them sneaky folk when you can just smash and grab, right?
I'm with you.
It's a good thing this place is abandoned.
Except for the one person he's trying to find.
That's true.
I hope.
Torn comes back on my shoulder, and I'm gonna go in that room. And what do I see?
You go inside, and the rooms to this room look like they were once covered with rows upon rows of wooden shelves, but you can now see like dust lines and mold lines where those shelves were once attached to the walls and have broken free and are now sort of on the floor. There are supplies strewn across the room, boxes of food, bags of grain. There's definitely been creatures and critters in here trying to eat what has been knocked free. There's a few sausages hanging from hooks on the ceiling, and an undisturbed bin of potatoes is scooted up against the rear face of the back of the kitchen's actual like brick hearth. You can kind of see the behind of it, and there's been this crate of potatoes shoved up against that.
I want to go in and open the crate of potatoes and dump it on the floor.
Okay. So you make an investigation check for me as you're doing this.
Ah, 5.
5. You kind of take the crate and you shove it all out, and these potatoes just sort of bounce all along the floor and scatter around the room. And you do find a very, very damp, wet piece of parchment.
I want to pull it out and look at it more closely.
As you kind of pull it out, the paper actually begins to disintegrate in your hands, and you get just the sense of this might have once been a map, but it just sort of rips apart into soggy, ruined shreds.
Why would someone put a map in a bin of potatoes?
I was just about to ask what you were doing. I don't know. If you're hungry, you shouldn't eat anything in here.
Well, I was thinking if somebody wanted to stash something, maybe they would put it in this bin.
I'm just gonna dig around and see if I can find a bottle of alcohol anywhere real quick.
Okay, make an investigation check.
9.
Oh, you're killing me, y'all.
I know.
You do search around. You don't find any bottles of alcohol. You do find like empty bottles that sort of have a stench of a very strong, unfamiliar liquor to them, but you kind of dump them out and they're all dry.
Ugh. Well, what a waste.
Can I go back into like the main kitchen area? And since the kitchen, you said it looked like it was recently used.
Yes.
Could I make out either what they were making, or if there's like Hansel Gretel style crumbs anywhere?
Sure. Make a investigation or survival check for me.
Investigation.
While they're doing that,
Oh,
I'd
we're
like
gonna
to
do
check
that
the
because I'm
window.
way better at that.
What was
See if
that,
there's a window
Thaddeus?
around. Is there a window around? I could
Me.
because we're on the opposite side
Oh,
from where we entered
floating.
from
Doesn't
now,
know
right?
what it
There
wants.
is not a window in here.
Are there any doors? Any other doors?
No, this looks like it's a larder and is like just enclosed, tight space.
Okay. What about back in the kitchen? I would have followed that.
The kitchen had one window, yes.
Okay. Oh.
Oh god,
That's a
oh
big
my
old
goodness.
egg right there.
We are on a roll.
Do
I wasted all the
find-
natural 20s at the beginning.
I will say you do find crumbs on the floor from the bread, sort of scattered all around that sort of side of the kitchen. Kind of looks like people have stepped in them and scattered them. They make it all the way even to the larder door, but other than breadcrumbs everywhere, it's not. They were making something with bread.
Cool.
So
I think
Was
it's
it like
time we head towards.
it was at least like a fun edible, like a good, like, let's have a good time, like anything interesting about the bread?
Want to taste the bread? Do you want to eat the bread?
No,
Okay.
God, no.
Well, then it's probably hard to tell.
Probably hard to tell. Damn it.
I grab some bread off the table, walk over to. Is there? You said there's a window in the kitchen.
There is a window in the kitchen, yeah.
So I'll munch on the bread as I walk over.
Oh,
to the
it's super stale.
Yeah. Toughens up me teeth.
There's a weird chewiness to it as you bite into it, like you might have bitten through something. Maybe bugs or something that had taken up residence inside of it. It's old bread.
Ooh.
Mixy bread.
Ooh.
Um,
Spicy.
All right.
The window actually looks out to a enclosed bay that is sort of on the back side of the island, and you can just make out a sort of fisherman's boat pulled up to a dock in this bay, and a fisherman's net that seems to sort of be floating just off of where the boat is, and full of something. But it's from this far away, impossible to see what is in the net itself.
Well, do we have anything else in the kitchen we want to find? Anyone need a snack?
Torn already has had his. I say we head towards some stairs.
Well, there's more rooms
Agreed.
out there. There's rooms on the other side. Should go check them out, see what they may be.
If I recall correctly, the dining room didn't have a dining room table.
The dining room that you ran through upstairs,
Yes.
is that the one you were talking about?
Yes.
It had the remains of a dining room table. It had like broken pieces of it that
Okay.
had been shoved to the side and used as a barricade. Did not have a table anymore.
Okay.
Have we already been through one of the rooms on the east side?
Not on the first floor.
On the first. Okay. So,
Let's head that way.
All right. You've got 2 rooms on the east side and a room in the back on the first floor.
check the back as we go. Just take a peek in.
Okay. Sorry. The door seems to be off its hinges a little bit, like it's been used or knocked really roughly. It's open, it's not locked, but it actually doesn't latch. It's mildly damaged, and as you kind of push into it, you see what was probably the sleeping quarters or the barracks for these monks. You see lots of wooden half walls that sort of form cells where there are roughly sewn curtains blocking off as doors, bedrolls on the floor. It is a mess in here. There has been stuff knocked over, thrown about. There are pillows that have been pulled apart. This entire room is in shambles. And the back door that leads outside to the backyard is fully barricaded up. There are tables, there are boxes, there are beams. Pretty much every piece of furniture you think that they could find, they shoved up against those 2 large back doors to the backyard.
The barricades are in place. So they didn't come in, whatever attacked through that door.
Ghosties don't need doors.
Where did the bodies go? Oh. Oh. You know, there's a net floating in the back bay. Full of something.
Oh no.
Did you see anybody?
I
By
don't
the
like
net?
that segue at all.
Well, nets don't exactly usually float like that, above the water. But dead bodies do. They get all bloaty and gassy. You poke a dagger in the belly and they fart at you. But,
That's just gross, Thaddeus.
been on the sea as long as I have, you get used to it. Let's continue on inside if we can. Perhaps the nearest door that we have over here.
And I'll walk to the closest door to me on the east wall.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you push open the door and you see what looks like possibly a library. It's got faded tapestries showing mostly maritime-like scenes, dramatic storms, one that shows a ship in the grasps of a large underwater monster, perhaps a kraken of some sort. The floor in here is carpeted in a very ragged sort of green shag that kind of changes in coloration. And as you kind of step back and look at it closely, almost depicts a crashing wave in the coloration of the carpeting. And you see 3 wooden tables and several chairs. It looks like this room had room for quite a few more tables and chairs, but this is probably where a lot of the barricading was pulled from. There are books strewn about, paper. There's a deserted library.
Are there any other doors in that room?
There are no other doors. There is, however, a window that is not letting in a lot of light because it is currently being covered up by vines that have sort of grown up on the outside and are blocking most of the light from making it in.
So, is there any religious symbology here based on the this was a multi-denominational hermitage?
Yeah, make a religion and or history check, your choice, depending on what you're more interested in finding out.
+4 at history. Just 17.
17. All right, so as you're looking through, you realize that the carpet itself actually depicts the symbol of Procan, the sea god, who was the main deity that these monks worshipped. This was a god that you prayed to for safe voyage across the ocean and for good weather on the seas. You also notice, you also know that Procan is sort of considered the reason the island survived the assault by the pirates of the ship Tammeraut back before it was a hermitage. So Procan has...
Be the Lord of Storms in this world.
I believe Procan is another name for the Storm Lord.
Huh?
If I know my
I don't know Forgotten Realms lore that well.
Forgotten... I don't know it that well either, but I do believe that those two are the same thing.
Ooh. Oh, I like this place. Might move in if we survive. Oh.
Anything catch my eye?
I mean, there are books all over the shelves, if that's interesting to you. There are pages ripped from those books, sort of scattering the floor.
Yeah, anything relevant to ghosties and curses.
You're welcome to look through the shelves if you'd like to make an investigation check.
I will make an investigation check, and if it's as bad as the last one, I'm throwing my computer out the window. That's a 10.
10. Unfortunately, it seems like most of the books here are religious in nature. Most having to do with Procan, though that's not the only deity that there are tomes on. You get the sense that this monastery is welcoming to all religions, though it does have sort of a core faith system that most of these monks probably followed. Nothing about ghosts or anything like that, though.
Are there any scroll tubes?
Any scroll tubes? Give me just a general investigation check for the room.
14.
14. You find a small piece of paper that has a poem written on it, as well as 4 spell scrolls sort of hidden away in a small lower shelf, kind of covered up in dust and cobwebs and things. They are spell scrolls for Gust of Wind, Speak with Animals, Speak with Plants, and Control Water.
Well, shoot.
The poem, though perhaps less interesting to you than the scrolls themselves, reads, "Beware the sea and its scarlet harbinger. Beware the sword and death that await. For guidance we beseech the almighty Storm Lord. Consign to our foes Tammeraut's fate."
What'd you find there, Thaddeus?
Well, I can use some of these for myself, but this one lets you talk to the animal folk.
And I'll hand I'm going to hand the Speak with Animals scroll to the ranger.
Okay. Tiff, you now have a Speak with Animals scroll.
Yay!
And I also believe Speak with Plants, because I can't use that one.
Speak with plants you're giving to me too?
Speak with Plants and Speak with Animals.
Okay.
With a wee little poem here. Did any of you recognize the name Tammeraut?
The hag mentioned it.
Beware of the sea and its scarlet harbinger. Beware of the sword and death that awaits. For guidance, we beseech the almighty Storm Lord. Consign to our foes Tammeraut's fate.
Nix, make a history check. I don't remember if anyone made this history check when you met the hags, but I'm just going to have you do it now.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. 17.
17. You do recognize the name Tammeraut. It was a noble family from a long time ago that faded from history. And the only most recent uses of it is it was this was a family that had shipping vessels, and some of their vessels had the name aboard the ship. But it has long since been used. No one from the family is still anyone of note or prominence.
I'll relay that to the group.
We're satisfied enough to be going upstairs now.
I think we can go upstairs. Okay, one more time, just to make sure I have it right. Speak with animals and speak with plants?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, and then do I know what level those are out of?
I believe they're just
They're always their
first.
minimum level, I think.
Yeah.
I think
They're what?
level
I'm
1
sorry.
spells.
Level 1s? Yeah.
Yeah, they're just level 1 spells.
Cool.
There is one more room on this floor that y'all have not checked out. If you're trying to do completionist, I will let you know that. If you are interested, it is on the opposite side of the dining hall. Which you only went to the dining hall on the second floor, so if it's actually, you haven't done the dining hall either. If you'd like to check that out as well.
Sure.
Let's go.
We got to be looking for a man. We might as well be looking in every room we can.
Yeah. So you make your way out and you kind of turn right around and go to the next door room, and you see a large hall with a vaulted ceiling. There's a balcony across, like a half floor, where you can see that there was more dining upstairs. This is the area that you had run through yesterday, Nix, or, well, a couple hours ago, an hour ago at most.
Mhm.
You can see more smashed tables in here, the shattered remains of one very, very large table as well. There's broken pots and plates and things, several old pieces of bread. There's also like a stench of like a really old moldy soup that's gone bad. There's a massive door-sized holes smashed through the ceiling in this room.
What sized holes?
Door-sized holes.
Oh, okay.
Do they
Not
look
through the ceiling, excuse me, through the windows. There are large windows in this room that sort of make up kind of like a stained glass window, though they're not actually colored or depicting any scenes, but they're sort of that same grandeur and scale, and they have massive holes smashed through them.
This must have been where they were attacked.
Anything of interest in the room?
Make an investigation check.
I'm not the smart one to be looking for. No. 5.
5. The only things really of interest are the sort of remains of their meals. There are like lines of ants that are going towards like smashed pots where there's like food that's been left over. Other than that, really nothing else catches your eye.
Since we've been looking through all these rooms, have I seen any more of those salty, like, footprints that I saw when we first entered?
Make a survival check. And I'll just kind of keep it in mind for all the rooms you've been through.
Hold on. All right.
Oh, fingers crossed.
We'll see here.
Big bucks, big bucks.
12.
12. You have seen footprints in different rooms. You saw footprints in the kitchen and the larder, but they look to be just regular footprints. In these other rooms, the hermit cells in particular, and the library and this room, you do see the occasional footprint that has sort of that salty crust around it, but you didn't see any of those in the larder room.
Seems to me some salty no-gooders are going on. No-gooders, that's a word, right?
Yeah, salty no-gooders. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Legend of Saltfoot. It doesn't have a good ring to it.
And there was no other doors in this room, right? Where the...
Yes. Sorry. I'm misleading you. There is another door in this room on the far side. It's kind of hard to see because it is underneath that balcony that was run across the other night, which, by the way, is actually, you all can tell now, very, very precariously balanced on what looks like wood that has seen better days. And Nyx, you're kind of looking at it going, man, I'm real glad I wasn't up there very long. Does not look very secure.
So question.
Yes.
The footprints.
Yeah.
So I have grim psychometry. Once per short rest, you can spend 10 minutes to meditate on an object to learn vague details about its past with a wisdom check. DC determined by the DM. You can target an object with this feature only once. It says object, but could I use it?
I don't believe a footprint's an object.
Meh.
Yeah, because it's just where things were, rather than like an actual tangible thing.
Is there... Is there anything around the footprints, an object, something close?
I mean,
like
there's
on the table.
There's broken pots, there's old food. Everything you've come across so far seems like it's clearly came from the monks that were living here.
Can I go to the broken window?
Okay.
And touch the glass, the broken glass.
Okay.
And use the grim psychometry on that.
Okay. Read for me the description one more time. And as you're doing that, are the rest of you going through this last door?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just gonna post it.
Or send it to me. Yeah, that's easier.
Yeah.
That's easier. You open this last door and you find a very small round room. This looks to be the first floor of the smaller of the two towers. And as you kind of peek inside, there's a strong, heaty scent of fermentation. And these sort of dark window lit space is just heavy with this scent. There's no actual stone floor, it's just hard packed earth. There's no ladders, but there is a trap door in the ceiling. There's a table along the west wall that has a collection of copper tubes and vats, and there are many casks in here.
These monks were brewing some beer.
Your kind of monks.
That's right.
Smells like vinegar in here, though. Wouldn't want to be drinking any of that.
You said there's no ladder or anything, but there's a trap door in the ceiling?
Correct.
Can I pull the table over, and if I stand on it, can I reach? Or I'm a gnome, so I'm super short.
Gnome, so probably not, unfortunately. I think a normal-sized human or elf could do it, but
Okay.
a small gnome, you're still going to be short a couple feet.
Seeing what Tiff was trying to do, I'll go ahead and stand up on the table and pull down the trapdoor.
You pull it over, and there's just clanking and shattering of glass and tubes and things that just get all knocked off this table as you pull it over. Tiff, you kind of climb up and can't reach, and so Nyx climbs up right next to you and reaches up and pulls, and the trapdoor takes a second to give before it does eventually pull free.
Here, give me a boost.
I'll lift her up.
Okay, I'll just climb right up there. What do I see?
You're lifted up, and you don't see a lot. It's actually a perfectly bare, round room with a wood floor, and surrounding it on all sides are many arrow slits. This appears to be some sort of guard post or tower, archery post. It's just, there's really nothing in it.
Okay. But this is the smaller of the towers, right? There's a
Yes.
tower
Yes.
that's bigger than this?
This is the small 2-story tower. The other one was 4 stories tall
Okay.
and much bigger. Vela, you spend 10 minutes really focusing on this glass, and you make a wisdom check for me.
6.
Oh no. You get sort of a montage in your head of images, and you see almost like the history of the windows through very, very quick flashes. The windows being pounded out of glass and then cut into shapes and then placed in the windows and then smashed once and then restored and then built again. And then you hear screams and you hear shouting and you hear a shattering of wood. And then you hear more windows shattering as something shoots through them, and your eyes kind of open with a very, very unclear idea of what happened. And you do realize that the broken glass, it's on the outside. There's no broken glass inside this room. It is all outward.
That's interesting. Okay, well, at least
I'll give you that.
Little token.
roll better. Do better. At my dice. Why?
I don't do large investigation, exploration, things like this, because when people don't roll great, it just feels like the longest trek. But y'all are doing fine. You really are.
I'm just gonna go ahead and jump down then from that
Okay.
tower. If I want to look out and see anything, we'll go to the bigger tower. Bigger tower is gonna have more view of the island. So
You hop down and kind of land on this table and are once again hit with that very strong smell of alcohol that's clearly been fermenting in these casks in this sort of distillery room. That is everything for the first floor, with the exception of the big tower on the other side. What would y'all like to do?
We still need to go upstairs other than the first floor and then the tower. Yes. Okay. Or no, we're upstairs.
No, we're
Yeah, I was gonna
downstairs.
say.
The,
Oh wait, I
the
thought.
second
oh.
story, like, archery post did not have a door into the rest of the building. So you are just on this first floor. Uh-oh, is Tiff frozen?
I think so.
Okay.
Oh no!
We will keep going, and hopefully she'll hop right back in a second. And then if it takes a little bit, maybe we'll go to an early break. But for the moment, we'll see if it's a quick fix. So would y'all like to go to the big tower, or would you like to go upstairs?
Might as well sweep out the whole bottom floor and do the big tower.
Big tower? Big tower. Okay. Sorry. This is my first time running a module with a bunch of maps, and so I'm just flipping through everything. Okay, so you make your way back across through the hallway. Uh-oh, the video's gone. That's okay, we're all just gonna be all distorted for a second. There is another locked door. This first floor tower is locked.
Well, if it's a tower, maybe there's a door on the upper floor.
Possibly.
Did you say the door is locked?
Yes.
Thaddeus?
Do you want to give it a good smack?
I mean,
Make an attack roll.
the
That
Star
is
Lord's
the-
lockpick.
Door smasher. They are doing great.
All right. It's going to be a total of. Would that be like just a straight up attack roll?
Yeah, plus your strength modifier.
All
And
right.
just straight up attack. Just smash.
Plus 5, plus 3, 18.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. So, let's see how that damage goes. 10. Where am I? It's 5 plus 5? 10.
10. You smash, and this door, you manage to hit it, so you actually kind of knock free wherever the latch in the lock is. And as you smash through and pull your warhammer out, the door kind of like pushes open, now broken. Did you know that the HP of a door is 10? I learned that recently.
Wow.
More HP than a level 1 wizard.
Yeah. or
Oof. Shade.
That's sad.
So as the door kind of squeaks open and you can now see inside, this is a damp, dark tower room, and it smells of rot and mildew. The floor itself is glistening with puddles of water, and trickles of moisture dribble down the walls to the west and the south. There looks to be the remains of what was once barrels and crates stacked against the walls, but they have decayed into nearly unidentifiable heaps of mold.
Ooh.
Oh,
There is no staircase.
and we're searching for somebody.
I'm going to roll perception, see if I can spot anyone hiding in the room.
Okay, make a perception check.
If I help him, does he get advantage?
Sure.
She would appreciate that. I'll roll again, and much better. I rolled a natural 1 the first time. Now it's
Uh-oh.
23.
23. Hell yeah. I'm going to actually be really nice because I like that roll a lot. As you take one step in, you hear a squelch. You look under your foot, and it's not beneath your foot. And your eyes just like slowly drift upward, and you see a greenish slime just sort of shifting on the ceiling, that as you move just a little closer begins to kind of shift into slightly more of a solid form.
Yeah, no. Back up.
I just shove everyone out of the room, try and pull the door closed.
In a move that is history repeating itself, you see the slime in the room and you shut the door behind you. Pretty much exactly the same thing the monks did when they found the slime in there. Who knows how long ago?
So should we just like go upstairs then and just call it?
Yeah, we don't want to go in there. No.
Yeah.
No, we go up the stairs.
What was that?
It was gooey. It squelched. And I hate the word squelch.
I love the word squelch. It's awful.
Squelch.
What did you roll for your perception check?
I had a 23.
23?
Yeah.
You hear just the faintest hacking cough. And it's so faint, and you can't quite place where it's coming from, but you have a feeling you are close to whatever it is.
What rooms are close by?
You are right next to the wall that would have separated the larder from the hallway. The closest door is the kitchen, and then the smashed-in brick midden door.
Okay. And as a dwarf, and I think I've got like proficiency in carpentry as well as masonry.
I believe so.
Yeah, carpentry and masonry, and stoneworking as a dwarf. Can I just roll to see if there's any secret? Say the larders nearby,
Yes.
and that seemed to be the place that didn't have as much mold going on in it.
Yeah, it was smashed up, but it was in pretty good shape.
Okay, I'd like to go back there.
Okay.
I'm hearing something. Let's sneak our way back to the larder. That seemed to be the place where there'd be food that hasn't gone all moldy on us. If there's anyone living here in secret, that'd be the perfect place to hole up.
All right.
Okay.
Let's approach quietly.
Okay. If you're approaching quietly, make stealth checks.
Stealth. Why isn't my stealth better?
Ooh, +9.
Ooh, +9, she says.
Hateful.
Yes. Techno Scald in the Twitch chat. This is the Barbarian Castle music on Roll20. Good.
Oh, yeah.
So with pretty quiet steps, the group of you, well, most of you,
19.
make your way down. Vela, you step on like a piece of brick from the midden, and it just crunch, and you stop. You hear a squeak, and another giant rat comes out of the pile of waste and like skirts past you and startles you, then makes its way outside.
Fucking shit. Fuck.
You
Kind
think
of
they was
turn,
throwing them for food?
turn into the kitchen. Make your way into the larder.
We found
Thaddeus.
potatoes.
You hear
Potatoes that
another-
weren't moldy.
Thaddeus, you hear another hacking cough. It seems like it's coming from below you.
All right, I'm gonna investigate the stonework of the room.
Okay. Make an investigation check. I know we've already investigated this room a little bit, but now you have more of a clue.
Investigate. Of course, I'm not on my page. Darn, the closest I got was probably a 13.
13. There you go. It was a DC of 12. Nobody rolled a 12 in this room last time. As you're kind of checking the stonework, you get to the section where the stone is different because it is the back of the stone oven of the kitchen, and you're kind of like following along this different stone, and you notice like a strange gap in between where the stone is and where that potato crate had been pulled. And you kind of pull the potato crate out and free, and you find a trap door beneath the potato crate.
Hey, what was the name of the one we was looking for? Name's the
Morley?
one who was talking to the elfie one, right?
Morley was correct, yes.
Yeah.
Morley, M-O-R-L-E-Y.
Yes.
I cannot
Marley.
believe I remembered that. I pulled that out of something.
Yeah, good job. Yep, Morley is who you're looking for.
Morley, if that's be you down there, we're coming in.
And I'm gonna pry it open.
Okay, you pry it open. It is dark down below. As you begin to shift your way, you see a staircase, or a ladder, a very small ladder, and
I've got my dark vision.
something down below. You kind of look down and you see just the faintest light.
Morley?
Oh, thank God. Come, please, help.
Okay, I can see like it's dim light down here because I got the dark vision. Do I see just one person?
You see 3.
Me.
And as your eyes kind of take in this space, you see 2 bodies laying down. One very, very gaunt and ill-looking, one who also looks very sick, and a third. And as you kind of take in this space and your companions drop down behind you, and our tiff returns, we're actually going to take our break now. This seems like a really good time. Our wonderful Nox is not playing with us this evening, but is still running things. So Nox is going to take us over to a break screen. We'll be gone for like 5-ish, 8-ish minutes. Go drink water, go to the bathroom, eat food, love
Make sure
your
my modem's working.
dogs.
Get ours reorganized.
Yeah.
And we're going to move our things around. So thank you for joining us, and we're going to go on break.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, bye. Thank you, bye. Hello, we're back. Thank you for waiting for us. We're all hopefully realigned to where we're supposed to be, and we're gonna jump right back into things. So you've just made your way down into this hidden cellar beneath the kitchen and larder. As you look into the small space, you see 3 individuals. There is a human woman who is the only individual standing. There is a very, very ill-looking gentleman laid back on sort of a wood pallet. He does not seem to even acknowledge your presence. And then sort of kneeling on the ground next to him, clutching their side, is another human man. Dwarven man, who has a sort of scraggly, rough beard, dressed in commoner's clothes. The woman sees you approaching. Oh, thank goodness. Hello. How did you? Are you? Is the fairy here? What is going on? Up above. Have you seen? Is Erin with you?
Who?
No.
The fairy.
We came and we found the place destroyed. It's a wreck up there.
And you've... elven gentleman, short black hair. He left to go investigate things a few hours ago. You did not see him.
No.
We haven't explored any other floor.
How long have you been here?
Well, time is hard to tell down here. What time is it now?
At dusk.
It's dusk already. Oh, and then almost a whole day. We can't... Did you see anyone up there? Anyone at all?
Not even a body.
Which is rather strange.
You're the first living souls we've found.
You didn't even find the body? Oh, God. She kind of like leans back against the wall and actually like stumbles for a second. Oh, no, this is my fault. This is my fault. Oh, God. Oh.
What are all your names?
Excuse me. Sorry. I'm Janice, priestess for Brokan. And then this is. She gestures to the prone, almost unconscious gentleman. That's Barrett and Marley, I believe. And the sort of crouched down gentleman's just like, Morley.
Oh, we've been looking for you, but business later. The Stormlords answered your prayers, and I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna do a medicine check on the one who looks like he's the most gone.
Okay, make a medicine check.
Plus 8 is a 18.
18. He is very sick. He has some illness that is quickly taking over, and he does not look like he's going to last much longer.
Okay, so in my knowledge, would a lesser restoration or a healing word be more appropriate here?
This is an illness. You sense that curing the disease is probably better off than actually curing the physical damage.
Okay, so I will touch a lesser restoration upon.
You place your hands upon, and the body sort of illuminates and glows for a second. As it settles back down, Janice comes over and, oh, thank you. I don't think I could have bared to lose anyone else. No one. Really, there's no one up there left alive. We found no one.
How long have you been down here? Again, just a day?
A whole day. It happened last night. I was in the library, and Prokan came to me in a vision, and I knew I'd been found, and I followed my intuition down here, and pulled Aaron in with me. I had just had this sense he was in the kitchen, and I felt like we weren't safe, so I pulled him down, and as we were making our way down, I heard wood shattering from the back door. And after a few minutes or so, these two found us, and we blocked the way in, but I have no idea what happened up there. I can only imagine the type of creatures that would come in and leave no bodies.
Saltfoot.
How bad does Morley look?
Morley looks pretty bad too. Not on death's door, but still ill and gaunt and sick.
What happened to you, Morley?
There's this weird gout, sunken face creatures like skeletons, but they were covered in all manner of barnacle and almost like bloated flesh. They smashed in through the back door while everyone was asleep, and Brett and here and I were playing cards. We weren't unconscious when it happened. We had just a second more and were able to run our way in here. I didn't realize there was a little secret passage underneath, but I figured larder was better than nothing. It's a hiding place.
Lamala's what it did for the young man. What about you, Tiff? You got anything for him? And let him die before we collect our bounty.
That's what I was thinking. And I'm just gonna...
What bounty? Who are you people?
Word is you've absconded with a very large sum of gold.
Oh, well, word's wrong. I'm just a, monk here. But it's different, Morley. You got the wrong man.
Let me see it, I believe that. Say that again to me, eyes. And I'm gonna, get a read.
Make an insight check, go ahead.
Can I assist?
21.
Already rolled. 21? Yeah, he's lying out of his teeth.
I'm gonna go ahead and just cure wounds him, put my hand on his forehead.
Oh, well, mighty thank yous. That feels real good.
Mm-hmm. He gets 7 points back.
All right.
That's to make sure you make it until we get paid.
I mean, I appreciate you keeping me alive. Thank you for that.
Torrin's just sitting on my shoulder, hissing silently.
You hear a hack from the floor, as Brett kind of comes to consciousness after a moment. Janice, who are they?
Brett? Are you awake? Are you okay?
Help me up. And you see Janice sort of help, and you help as well, Tiffany. Kind of sits up.
Do you need any more healing? Or was that
I'd save your strength. I'm likely a goner. I don't know what those things are, but they're like corpses. Just dripping, wet, shriveled and discolored. And it was stalking the hallway, like searching for us. And
did you see where they came from?
No. I mean, they came in the back, so maybe the water out in the back. the grotto. I mean, I don't know. They're one of them, and kind of looks down, and you see a gash in his side. They have this poison or something about them that's... Don't let them touch you. Brett, please, lay back down. Janice kind of helps him, like, Have you searched everywhere? I'm sorry, no sign of Erin anywhere.
We had not been upstairs. Do you think these walking bodies is likely to be coming back tonight?
There was a map. She gestures, and you see that there's actually a robe on the floor. The old chaplain who used to work here had a map, and I dropped it. It had intentions, invaders that were given orders to invade the islands nearby, and this was one of those islands, and I suspect if these corpses or undead or whatever they are the remains of some invaders, and they now know we're here, and that we're not all gone, they would return to finish the job.
We better be searching the premises. Should we be splitting a party again?
Did Nix tell us about the map?
I did.
You did, yes. It was that's the one that melted in your hands?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Disintegrated.
You did find a map.
Yeah, but wasn't
It didn't last.
I don't know a lot. I only just arrived on this island 2 days past with Mr. Morley there as well, on the ferry. I'd come here to research Procan, and had found all these notes about those who built this fortress before against these invaders aboard a vessel of some sort. And the original priest of Procan who lived here did some ritual, called upon the might of his god to sink and destroy the armies that were seeking to invade. I wonder perhaps if my presence has reawoken them. Old vengeance of some sort.
Get the revenge on the Lord of Starnes himself. You and I both follow the same path.
Oh, we do. That's it's good to hear, to know another of the faithful is here to help.
Friends, should we be looking at the upper floors? Maybe if he's coming back tonight, maybe we should prepare the doors a wee bit better than they were left.
I'm gonna take out a blanket and my my rations that I have, and just cover Brett with the blanket and be like, sorry, I can't do more. We'll block as much as we can. You stay here while we continue the search.
I would warn you before you leave. Erin has clearly not returned. I don't know what else has made its way to the island since the attack last night, but I would be careful.
We'll do our best.
Before we be exploring the rest of the place, so like the upper floors, maybe we should get the lower ones boarded. I've got me kit, I've got me hammer and me nails. We can patch up as much of this as possible.
Not much we can do about that area with the windows blown out.
I mean, we have a table. We have plenty of wood laying around.
I don't know if it matters, but the windows, there was no glass on the inside.
And
Perhaps folks in the hall shot arrows out at the invaders through the windows. I don't know. I know very little about defense in fortresses.
We got arrow slits. Any actually use a bow? I mean, T, if you use a bow. I've got my crossbow. What about you, Nix? You got anything to hit from a distance?
I'm much better in close quarters, unfortunately. I mean, I'm trained with the longbow, but I don't own one.
Yellows.
Maybe we could keep an eye out for one, though. There might be something around here.
So, how about we get the big windows boarded up? We can use arrow slits if we need be. But we need to nail the door shut. Keep any large force from getting in here.
Okay.
I'm gonna head up, and since we've cleared the bottom floor, I'm not worried. So I'll separate from the party and go with my stuff and just use like the chunks of wood and tables to try and nail the back door shut.
Okay, which doors are you working on? Because there are the 2 doors to the front, 2 doors leading out the back.
That big room I opened up that looked like it had all the half walls. Like those.
The cells and stuff, the like sleeping quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 doors back there as well.
I
So
kind
those
of
are
want
partially
to.
barricaded.
I kind of want to board up the door that leads into that room, like not go into it. You said the back door there when you described it was already barricaded.
Yes, yeah.
So I'm gonna board up that door to have 2 layers of barricaded area.
Okay. Easily with your tools and the materials around, you're able to sort of barricade that door. With the help of your companions, you can also barricade the front doors. A lot of the arrow slits are actually covered in rock. So you'll have to, if you're thinking about using them, maybe take a few minutes to find some and clean rocks out of them and make them usable and open again, but you could do that as well.
I've got my carpenter's tools and my mason's tools, so I'm good for this.
All right, I'm going to mark down the reinforcements you did on the first floor. So I have that recorded.
Thaddeus, are we planning on making a stand here?
Well, we lost our boat home because the lily-livered half-orc decided he was going to row himself home and we wouldn't be able to get them off the island. They're coming back tonight. The sun is setting. We better be doing as much exploring as we can before it gets dark.
Okay, well, yeah, let's fix as much as we can, but we still need to search the rest of this house and make sure it's secure. This fortress.
Let's be getting upstairs then.
All right. As you head upstairs, you see the knocked open, or the door open to the second balcony above the dining hall. You see 3 other doors on this level as well that have not been opened yet.
I'll go to the first one.
All
Try
right.
and open it.
It opens with an easy push. As you kind of push through, it bumps into a mace that's on the ground that looks to have been used as some sort of a doorstop. It's modestly furnished. There's a cot, a table, a chest, and a chair, and an odd-shaped basin on the table with a small piece of mirror hanging from the wall above it.
I'm gonna go check and see what's in the chest.
Okay. It's unlocked, and as you open it, you find threadbare garments, worn sandals, a religious icon set of 4 of small procan, just a little token. You also find a very small pouch which as you open up, you see 2 blocks of amber and 14 small diamonds.
Okay.
Anything useful?
Well, we've got some tokens of Procan, and I found some amber and some diamonds. If anything, they're very beautiful.
Yes, anything you can do with amber and some diamonds?
Not really. So there's a basin?
Yes, there's a very strange looking basin beneath a mirror on the table.
I'm gonna go check the basin.
Okay. As you kind of look at it, you actually realize it's not a basin at all. It's an upturned helmet.
Oh.
You kind of flip it over and you see it actually has carvings in it of dolphins. And you kind of inspect it. It's very beautifully crafted.
I'm gonna dump all the water out and put it on my head.
How do I look? Am I pretty?
Beautiful.
You're always so beautiful, Thaddeus.
I'm gonna make Torin just run up and perch on top of the helmet.
My ghosty friends think so too.
Oh.
Hello.
Torin comes back.
Did you say that there was a door next to this room?
Yes, there's another hallway.
Is it like close by? I'm not wandering too far away.
It's close-ish.
Okay, as long as I'm not like taking off on my own.
I'll follow
Find me.
Bella.
And if we see any arrow slits, I'm gonna undo them just automatically, just
Okay.
to make sure all the arrow slits are open.
You open up this door and it's a very bare room with many, many arrow holes in it. There's also murder holes in the floor that overlook the entryway, places that you could drop things from. There's a trap door set into the floor and a fireplace with a dusty kettle.
Can I check out the the trapdoor?
Which one? The east or the west trapdoor?
Are we in the north, south, east, or west? In this room.
You are on the north. This is looking out the front of the building.
Is one of those the door that lead to the refuse room?
Possibly.
And that's what I'm scared of. Let's go east.
Okay. This one is unlocked. You pull it open and you see a very small chamber with no outward doors. This would be right next to the entranceway. And as you kind of look down a bit more closely, you can kind of perceive that this was some sort of defensible hideout or archer's post. There's slits in the walls. There's also a quiver and bow down on the floor.
Oh, better be gold.
Can I reach him?
Yes, you can. There's a ladder.
Okay, I'm gonna go down. And before I grab that, is there anything else?
It
Once
appears
I'm-
to be a completely abandoned room aside from
The bow and quiver.
The bow and quivers. The quiver itself only has 5 arrows in it.
Okay, I'm gonna pick that up, go back up, walk over to Nyx. Present for you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Nothing
There
else
we
interesting
go.
down there, though. I
How is
think
she back here?
the other door might lead to a less pleasant room, so that's my guess.
You don't want to go check it out? You don't want to go smell it or anything like that?
If I stand over it, can I just like smell it?
Instantly, you realize, oh, this is the privy. This
Yep.
is the bathroom.
Oh, great.
I'll check.
This is where people go to have some alone time.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna open that. We're just gonna we're out we go. Just that was it. I found the bow and quiver. That's what I wanted to find.
So there is the ballroom, which Nyx, you've already sprinted through. Though there is possibly something on the far side of that balcony. You didn't look because you jumped out the window to save Keen. And then there is another door on the far side of this second story. What would you like to do?
Let's go look where you sprinted through first, Nyx.
Let's be careful. The balcony is not very sturdy.
All right. Anyone crossing that balcony where you do see another door needs to make a dexterity check.
Check or saving throw?
Check for now.
Okay.
I'll go.
That's cocked.
Ooh. 19.
Okay.
It's not like acrobatics or anything. 11.
11. So, Tiff, you sort of, and the floor is a little squeaky and a little against your feet, and you get to the other door and you open it, and as that happens, you see Nyx come behind you, and then you hear a as
I reach out and grab her.
Okay, as the floor of the balcony actually begins to break, and you grab Nyx and kind of pull Nyx up to an area where the floor hasn't collapsed, but now that balcony has a big gap in the middle of it.
Oh, watch your step.
I thought you were
currently-
supposed to be good on your feet, eh?
Normally.
Currently, Tiff and Nyx, you are on one side. The other two of you are on the other side. The door, I misspoke. You were not able to open it because as you pushed against it, it felt barricaded.
And that's the... Can I tell if that's the only way in to that?
Does appear to be, yeah. Make an intelligence check for me.
All right. 15.
15. Having gone around this place a little bit, you have a kind of decent idea of how it's laid out. This is that second story guard post you had climbed up into previously. You don't remember seeing a door. You just remember seeing brick wall.
Ooh.
So this door feels like it's pretty heavily barricaded, probably with brick.
Okay. Oh, you know, I'm just now remembering that I already looked over there. So we could just hop back now.
Make acrobatics checks.
Can I like stand like kind of ready to catch them?
Yeah.
Grab them. Okay.
25.
Easily.
There it is.
You just.
You
the
said
other side.
acrobatics this time?
Yeah, acrobatics. Because now you're actually jumping something.
19.
Yeah, easily. The both of them just right over to the other side. And Vela, you have your hands out and they just jump right past you.
I just give her a high five instead. Or they, I just give him a high five.
I was gonna say I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Nice. So there's one other door on this floor that you know of, and it is going to the west, which is the direction of the big tower. I think before next week, I'm actually going to send y'all the maps because I think that'll help you visualize things for next week. But
yeah,
I had thought of it sooner, but that's okay.
Let's head that way, eh?
All right.
Last door.
You open the door, and it is a hallway. There's a door at the far end and a door to the side.
Check the door to the side first, I guess.
Okay. As you kind of push the door open, you see a partial wall dividing a chamber into two sections. There are two arrow slits in the west wall and a small fireplace up in the north. Several tables are crowded into this room, covered with sheets of paper, quills, ink pots, candles, and a few books. Numerous uncomfortable-looking stools are around these tables, and one of the ink pots has been knocked over, and there's just a large flood of ink on one of the tables that has dripped onto the floor.
I want to go look over at some of the parchment and see if I can see anything that might have been previously written or what they were looking at.
Okay, make a investigation check.
Oh my gosh. That's a 7.
A 7. Unfortunately, the parchment here is either blank or covered in just like smeared ink and hard to read.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think we're getting anything from this. Sorry.
Worth investigating.
We're moving up the tower,
Trying to
right?
find information. So I am proficient in alchemist supplies. Would
Okay.
being level 9, would it be out of the realm of possibility to say that I have like I made the invisible ink to read it, the solvent?
It's not out of the realm of possibility. I think it's cool. Sure, why not?
Okay. Are there any out of all like the parchment and things, anything handwritten, like letters or anything like that?
As you kind of look around, you get the sense that this room is not a personal workroom. You see the nice books and you see the paper, and the few that do have any writing on them have sort of elaborately drawn text and things, and you kind of flip one of the books open and see that one of the papers actually identically matches the text, and you realize that this is a scriptorium. This is not some place where personal letters or things would be kept. This is for the writing and copying and studying of text.
Okay.
So possibly not the place to use it. Hint, hint, wink, wink from your dungeon master.
Gotcha.
'Cause
Noted.
it's cool. I'm only giving it to you once.
Aye. Roger.
So,
Not gonna use it
left
here,
the
though.
tower now. You done looking at ink spilled on the floor.
I think I'm good.
Does anyone have a passive perception of 16 or higher?
I think
16.
I might. Yes, passive perception 18.
All right. Nyx and Thaddeus, you notice in the corner of the room around a stack of books, there's this strange, almost coralish pink form that kind of begins to move a little bit, and at closer inspection kind of looks like uncoiling of a very large resting snake that has just begun to awaken to your presence.
I'm going to pull everyone out of the room and close the door.
Okay.
We're gonna be fighting those creepies out there. We don't want to be wasting our spells on something like that. We can clear that later if we want to. Good idea,
Alright.
lass.
You continue down the hallway.
Yeah. Want to get to the top of that tower.
All right, you exit out the other door to the hallway, and you are actually outside. You are on an outward battlement that sort of goes around this corner of the back southern part of the building. You can look down and see the grotto and the fisherman's boat. You can see the battlement's walkway down along the walls outside. You can see the cistern where you fought the hags. You follow along this battlement and you find another door.
When it comes down to the fighting, this is where I'll be placing myself.
Can I see any movement out at the grotto?
Make a perception check.
20.
20. You do see movement. You don't see a figure or anything like that. You do see, however, a large net that is floating at the top of the water, up and down. And with a 20, I will say, to kind of focus in on this strangely buoyant net. Having been told by Thaddeus what might be in it, you kind of focus, and you're not sure if your eyes imagine it because of what you've been told, or if you actually see it, but it does look like the net might be full of bodies.
Oh, shit.
I'm just gonna look at Thaddeus and... Oh, this is gonna be gross.
If putting bodies in there, then these aren't our usual just shambling corpses. They got thoughts and they got plans. And I'm not liking it. Ooh, boy. Shall we be heading up?
Yeah, let's finish this investigation.
What kind of roof does the monastery have? Is it like those? Is it like the roof that's like the parts that are like that overlapping, that if someone's climbing on it, it could fall down?
Oh, very good question. I love that you're thinking about these things, because I have lots of notes in my little book here that talks about these things. There's aging slate tiles on the roof, and they do look like the type of tiles that if you were to try to climb them would kind of collapse on themselves and all come crumbling down. There's also a lot of holes and weak points in this roof that are no longer covered in tiles that too much weight would probably drop through.
Give me a minute. I think I have a plan. If they can put bodies in the nets, they can climb.
So I'm gonna take a few loose tiles and just kind of lay them over the holes, kind of hide the holes.
Okay, kind of rig up the holes. I like it. All right. There's one more door at the edge of this battlement, and it does go into the tower.
Let's open it.
In we go.
Right, you push the door open and you find what looks to be some sort of junk room. There's bundles and barrels and boxels all piled haphazardly across the room. A narrow path leads through the clutter to a staircase that curves up along the inner wall up to another floor. Up to a trapdoor in the ceiling, excuse me. But there's just a ton of stuff in here.
Can we investigate?
Go for it. Make investigation check.
I'll assist on
Can
it.
I too?
Yeah.
I've got a +8 to my investigation, so I'm pretty good at investigating.
I'll let
Yeah.
you do it.
Yeah, everyone can roll if you'd like.
Okay.
I'll let you do that.
That's a nice one.
Oh, that was pretty good. 20.
20?
Very good, no bonus.
20.
20.
Oh god, no, the pressure.
20s.
I like how we're all now rolling better on an investigation.
Now that we're on our last room.
Sorry. 9. Thaddeus?
I have 17.
Okay.
God,
As
it
you
hurts.
through, you find 1 foot of hempen rope. You find a harp.
That is 1 foot that was severed.
Yeah, just 1 foot of hempen
Find a
rope.
foot.
A harp with only 1 string, a single left boot, a bottom with no bucket. You find a lot of things of very little value just left in here. You also find a 10-pound cask of iron nails, a bent crowbar, 3 clay planters for a garden, a hammer, a rusty saw, a hooded lantern, a few 10-foot lengths of hemp rope, and a stack of firewood. Nix and Tiff, you together kind of pull off a piece of crate and reveal 1 more box. In this box, you reveal a case of 12 plus 2 bolts and a small hand crossbow.
Anyone capable of using this kind of weapon?
I got my own crossbow. What about you, fella? You got anything for a range?
I have my crossbow. Does it look better than my crossbow? Or does it look old?
What type of crossbow do you have?
I have a... Where's my equipment? How do I use this? It's a light crossbow.
I believe a hand crossbow does the same as a light crossbow, but you might not be proficient in both. So you're better to sticking with what you got.
How about half for you, half for me?
For the
We're
bolts.
gonna be taking the
Oh, I was like, half what? Half a what? Yes.
Half the bolts.
Yes, these are +2 bolts. So you get a +2
Ooh,
attack damage. To these
hell
bolts.
yeah. That sounds good. How many do we get each?
6 each, if you're splitting them in half.
6 each.
All right.
Yay, loot.
Yeah, y'all rinsed this room.
I'm gonna be getting the firewood, but probably want a place to make a stand, and we're not going to be able to be caught in the dark. So, if we set up in the downstairs with a fireplace, we may be able to have the light about us.
Good. You gather up the
Okay.
firewood.
Gonna pick up a bunch of nails, replenish my carpentry stuff with the nails and the hammer and the bent crowbar, and the oil lamp and the lantern. We have a bag of holding, and the firewood.
Yeah. There's a reason why.
Yeah. Okay, so after I'm done, who's holding the bag of holding? I wasn't carrying it. Was it
Me.
I believe it's Vela.
Bella?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm just shoving random things in there, just.
At this point, I'm just sitting there, like, holding it open, but I'm, like, looking around the room and, like, oh, what'd you put in there? Okay, it's gone. Okay.
Let's be going up.
Keeping an eye out for my weird ghosty friend. I don't know if he's attacked me before, but I didn't like it, so
Okay.
I see him again. Stop that.
Are you going up to the next floor? Sure.
There's a trap door, right?
Right. This staircase goes up to another trapdoor.
Up.
All right. You climb on up. The trapdoor is opened, and you find another room. This one that looks to be some sort of living quarters. There's a cast iron potbelly stove that squats to the north of the main tower, and its stovepipe is extending out the arrow slit to the north. They're kind of using the arrow slit to help hold their pot up. There's a wooden frame and slats of an old bed pushed up against the spiral staircase that leads to another trapdoor, to what you assume is probably the very top layer of this tower. Under an arrow slit, you see a desk, a dusty desk covered in debris and fresh bird droppings. There's hinges hanging on either side of the arrow slits in the walls, indicating that at one time they had shutters to keep out the elements. A section of the wall to the southeast has collapsed inward, opening up to the rocky slope of the island's smaller hill 10 feet below. A pile of rubble covers the smashed remains of a chair.
Any more of those salty footprints anywhere?
Make a survival check.
Oh, come on. Okay. I kept falling off the thing and getting all messed up. 23?
23. You search around on the ground, and as you do, you do not find footprints. You do find more bird droppings. And bird droppings. And you think about the massive bird that you saw earlier, and it could not have made these droppings. These are much smaller. These belong to a smaller bird of some sort.
Okay. I thought you were going to say these are large, and I was about to be like, no. No, friends, no. Okay. Small birds are fine.
Just getting some piles.
Okay. I'm just gonna go up to the other trap door and see if it's locked or anything.
It is open.
I'm going to follow Tiff.
Okay. Thaddeus, are you investigating down here?
Yeah, I'll investigate the room we're in now.
Okay. Make a investigation check.
Okay, it's another 17.
Awesome. I hope y'all are writing things down. As you're searching through the desk, you find many things. You find 3 ounces of oil of slipperiness. You find a ring. You find 3 potions a immovable rod, a small folded up boat, and another bag of holding.
What was that second last item?
Folded boat.
Folded boat.
It looks like a boat made out of paper.
Take it all.
I will. I'm adding it into my D&D Beyond.
Take it all, take it all.
You also find on the desk a journal.
Ooh.
Someone get to reading that.
You gonna read it?
I'm not going to read it.
You're
I'm
not? Okay.
I'm busy shoving stuff.
I found a book if you were looking for some reading material down here, Bella.
Oh, I'll definitely have to take a look at that if we don't die tonight, you know.
All right. The other three of you open up this top trap door and are met with fresh air and the scent of salted ocean water. You kind of push through and step out into the belfry. There's a large bell up above you, and piles upon piles of sticks, grass, and debris made into some sort of nest. You see large, recognizable feathers up here, and you see a body.
I want to see if it's, do I recognize what kind of creature would have made this nest?
Make a nature check.
9.
9. It is a very large bird.
A very large bird.
Based on the size of the feathers and the size of the nest, it was a very large bird.
I want to investigate the body.
Okay. You move closer to the body and you can see that the torso is torn open and there is actually no heart. There's blood on the ground and it looks like this individual had actually wiped their hands through their blood and tried to write something on the stone before they died. It says, "Beware the sea kill," and the KIL smears off.
Beware.
Beware the sea kills. Maybe.
Make a... No, I'm just going to say you notice it. As you're checking the body out, you do see dark, short, black hair and noticeably elven ears.
Oh, no.
I pop my head up.
What's going on now?
We found Aaron.
He didn't make it.
Oh,
Chest.
was his heart just ripped out? Or does it just seem to like just not be there?
Make a medicine check.
Natural 1.
Oh.
It's a bloody, gross mess. It might be in there. Honestly, at this point, it's hard to tell.
That there, Aaron there is having a really hard day, yeah.
Alright, do we have any questions for the poor lad?
Ooh. Did you? Oh, you do want to speak to someone dead, don't you?
I might not believe in the ghosts, but I do believe in the spirit.
Give you
Well,
a side eye.
They go to the other side. I just bring them back for a moment. They don't hang around.
So I go over and I rub my hands together. I tap my boot and I put my hand onto the forehead of the body.
Time to wake up.
You channel some of your divine energy into your fingers. You pull your hand back. For a second, it seems like nothing. And then you hear a...
Gets me every time.
The eyes sort of loll around in the head as it kind of tilts towards you.
Hey lad, What did this to you?
Monstrous bird from the sky.
Probably that big bird.
I think it was the bird that we fought, yeah.
What were you up here for?
Looking for fairy. Saw a ship. Could not warn away in time.
Ask him what he
away.
was trying to... Sorry.
Well, yeah, no, good question.
Ask him what he was trying to write, yeah.
What were you writing? What's the end of your message?
Beware the sea killers.
Who are the sea killers?
And be the sea killers you warning us about.
They came from below, walked out, and killed, and then took the dead with them.
Yeah, we saw them.
What direction did they come from?
Behind, before, from everywhere.
Rest now, lad. You earned your sleep.
And you watch the body kind of give as this last burst of sort of divine magic kind of comes out like a last breath and disappears.
Oh, it's not going to be much to just block one set of cars. We've got to put them on.
It seems like those pirates were upset and they just keep coming back for revenge.
And if it's because we got someone here from the Starmlord, we got two of them now, and they ain't gonna be peace. I'm gonna check out the ocean, see if I can spot any signs of them as the sun is setting.
Okay. Make a perception check.
That is a 18.
18. You don't see signs of creatures, but as you're kind of looking out over the water, you do see in the distance 3 other islands that are out in this area that are all probably equidistant from the coast, but no signs of movement.
We've got a job ahead of us before it gets too dark. If they're going to be coming back, we got to pick our spots and where we're going to set up. I, for one, like the spots where I can overlook as much of the land as I can, so I can be casting me lightning. What about the rest of you?
I need some place high up or with good visuals for sure.
Yes, we got the murder holes in that room there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one. I like that one. That was the one right at the front, right?
Yeah, the room with the piss chamber and the arrow slits and the murder holes looks out towards the front entrance in the garden.
Okay. Yep.
Question. As a blood hunter, you have advantage on survival checks to track and intelligence checks to recall information about fae, fiends, and undead. Would this count as an undead thing? Could I roll?
It sounds very much like an undead, yes.
Do I have in my research? Do I know anything?
To track them? What is it you're trying to do with them?
Recall information.
Recall information about
intelligence check.
Make a intelligence check then, or history if you want, if that's better.
Oh, my intelligence is low. It's average. Oh, I'm so scared to roll.
You got this.
You can do it.
Got it. You're due a good roll. You're due a natural 20.
17.
Okay, I like it.
I'll take it.
With what you've heard from the survivors, from the disease you witnessed on Barat and possibly Morley down in the cellar, and what you've heard about them coming up out of the water, you get the sense that these are undead, but they're seemingly inclined to the environment in which they died. They likely drowned or met some death out at sea, and their bodies have taken on that sort of bloated water-like form and then been seemingly encrusted with sea life, or I don't know, imagine the creepy pirates in the later Pirates of the Caribbean movies that were like part fish. It sounds like these undead have some of that sort of nauticalness to them. You also know that there is an illness called blue rot, and is something carried by things that live near and on the surface of diseased and unhealthy waters. It's sort of like something carried by mosquitoes, you would think, like mildewy water. And that's likely what the two gentlemen down below had. And if these corpses are in some way infected, it would also cause them to be covered in boils, and it has a very strange positive of causing things to be able to breathe underwater. I will give you all of that because I'm kind and you rolled really good this evening for the first time, and I wanted to reward you.
Yeah.
Anders is so nice to me.
He is a malevolent god.
Is this all being relayed?
Yeah, I relay all that information to you guys.
Well, it sounds like that's not something you'll be wanting to be touching. You rot.
Unfortunate, given that I'm much better with my fists than with anything else.
Maybe wrap them fists up nice and tight.
Ooh, yes. Wraps. Use wraps. Or do you have a long stick?
I do have my quarterstaff.
There we go.
But in case it comes to it, I will wrap my fists as well.
But what time is it right now?
At this point, up in the belfry, you all watch the sun drop below the horizon. It is not fully dark yet. The sky still has a sort of rich orangish purple tone to it, and there is still light being emitted from the horizon, but the actual sun itself has dropped.
I don't know if this is a weird thought, but I'm going to throw it out there. If those are bodies in the water, are they going to come back tonight too and be part of?
Luckily,
Potentially.
they the net.
That might be why they collected them.
I'll keep my eye on it. Send down a bolt of lightning if they start to twitch. Now, I've got this oil. Now, if we're going to be on some balconies, perhaps we can steal a little bit of it along the banister. Keep them from climbing up. We gotta do everything we can to try and control this, because until Keen snaps out of her little tiff there, we're in a lot of danger.
I'll hand out oil of slipperiness to Nyx and one to Vela, and I'll keep another one for
Yeah,
myself.
so you each have 1 ounce, which is not a lot, but the stuff does spread very, very well.
Now, if we can put it on a railing or something, perhaps we each take a little spot. We're gonna find a spot to place it. I wonder if they use doorknobs.
Do you think they only come at night?
You were told by Janice, or not by Janice, by Morley, that most of the monks were asleep and only a few were still up when the attack happened.
Okay.
I mean, if I wanted to kill all y'all, I'd do it at night.
It's the best plan of attack for sure.
Stay vigilant.
It makes me feel weird just waiting for them to come, though.
Well, we'd better get through our battle stations and keep an eye on the water. They can come from all directions, and we need to be watching all directions.
Better to stay where it's fortified than meet them near their home turf.
So I'll take the battlement that overlooks the south.
Did we read that journal?
You need to set up a campfire out in the courtyard too.
No one read the journal, no.
No.
Oh, I'd be interested in giving that a look over.
Okay, are you gonna flip through it?
Yeah.
Okay, as you kind of flip through, most of the pages are water damaged and hard to read, but there are a few at the back that are still readable. And you find notes on the events surrounding the coming of Tammeraut. Our worst fears are confirmed. Virgil has brought word of a disaster. A war gallery fully loaded with pirates approaches from the southwest. It flies the flag of the raiders and bears the name of the cursed ship Tammeraut. We must prepare what feeble defense we can muster. Woe to the folk of the coast at the approach of this bloody tide. You flip, you find the next entry. Miracle of miracles, the Storm Lord has answered the prayers of our illustrious chaplain. A furious storm blew in from the open sea and swept the war galley to its doom. But I believe that the vessel went down near the pit of hatred, an ill-starred undersea chasm 2 miles south of Firewatch Island. This does not bode well, for the rift is said to be a passage to a source of interminable evil that was long ago sealed away. If the wreckage should rupture the wards, terrible darkness might be unleashed. I must mount an expedition to the sunken hulk and make sure all is well. And then a final entry. A fell wind blows this evening. I fear the wards on the rift have been broken. I must set out first thing in the morning to expect the wreckage. You also find a name in the journal. Archwizard Archaeus.
Setting out on a journey, was he? I'm gonna take the bag of holding and turn it inside out.
Okay. As you flip it inside out, you hear a thunk, 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 thunk as a bunch of things fall out. 500 feet of weighted hempen rope, a small metal baton the size of a torch that immediately upon being released from the bag of holding lights up like a torch, and 6 small metal containers.
Any labels on them?
They are just very, very small little metal containers with no markings.
Can I open one?
You pop it open and you see a very small pill.
Something I would recognize?
Make a medicine check.
9.
No idea.
Okay.
Maybe the last stand in the cellar.
Yeah.
Questions. Maybe.
Bella, do you know what this is?
Do I know what it is?
Make a medicine check.
I'll do it too while I'm at it.
Okay. 14.
14. These are likely. There's a new trend in magical potion crafting and creation that is taking all the power of a potion and putting it into a swallowable capsule. And these look like that type of capsule. You have no idea what the spell is, though.
I got a 15 plus 8.
You, on the other hand, take a look at it and see very small markings on the surface of it and realize that this is a pressure capsule.
Under pressure.
So like the cyanide pills, like Spy? That's all I could think of.
We got a long rope
we got a hook, and we got a torch that lights up. I'm thinking we might be for underwater.
I will say that you know that a pressure capsule is a small capsule made of beeswax, which can be consumed to ignore the depths of swimming greater than 100 feet.
Oh.
There are 5 of them?
There are 6 of them.
6 of them.
For me, one for you, one for you.
We're gonna have to go to this sunk ship.
Oh, don't say
Balconies.
that. I don't want to do that. Oh, I don't like that.
I don't want to either because Torn would have to stay on his own because he doesn't like to swim.
Well, we got 6 capsules.
I mean, I sympathize. I also don't really like the water. Don't like swimming.
Does anyone have the capability of letting us breathe underwater anyway?
Nope.
I have water breathing.
Well then, let's head back down to the survivors. Let's see if any of them can render some assistance in this, or if we just need to lock them back down there until it's all over.
Honestly, I say we bar them in there. Sorry, not sorry. I think they're safer that way.
Well, we get another follower of the Stormlord. May be able to bring a little bit of lightning down.
Was she hurt?
She did not appear to be hurt.
Okay.
She, her and Aaron got down to the cellar before the attack because she was sent a vision. Or a warning, some sort of message from her deity to run and hide.
Anyone who gets a message from the Stormlord has a purpose.
Okay. Well, are we preparing to fight, or are we going to take the fight to them?
Oh, we're gonna let them come to us.
I'd much rather that.
We got the arrow slits, we got the high ground, we got a few traps set up for them. They've been trying to climb on the roof. They're going to be in for a fall into the courtyard. Now we need to get a bonfire set up so we're not doing this in the dark. I know not all of you are able to see in the dark.
So, as you kind of make your way back down and set up this large bonfire, make any more barricades on the doors, prepare
Nails, so yeah, I'm gonna double nail them all shut if I can.
double nail things. As you're making these preparations, we go into a very long night. You all find your way to the places where you're going to be held up, prepared, ready. And then you begin to wait. And wait. Keeping an eye out on the shoreline for movement, for creatures, for any sign of this invading force. Inside, Janice has decided to not stay down. She wants to help as well. So you've sort of barricaded Morley and Brett down below. Janice has kind of taken up a post on the first floor and is just sort of quietly pacing and muttering under her breath before she comes and she approaches you, Thaddeus. I have to ask, were you sent a vision to come here?
Well, no, not in particular. We came here on a job. But I do believe the Stormlord puts us in places we need to be. We sailed through a storm to get here. There was a storm the night before. And I believe that was a blessing, telling me that I was on the right path. But no vision. I'm a wee bit jealous that you got a direct link. Been quite a while for me.
I wouldn't be. I am feeling conflicted because my presence here caused all of these people to die. And though I believe our Lord has greater purpose, sending us here to defeat this evil and close whatever rift they're coming from again. I feel if I had never made my way to this island, they never would have reawoken. And I wonder how he can weigh this loss as being of value.
If you look at it in the grand scheme of things, ships sink every day. Many ships. And that's whether on him, whether not. I don't think the sea worries too much about the life that sails upon it. And that's why we ask. That's why we pray. But if you came here not knowing that this is what would happen, you can't take responsibility, lass. You know, I didn't know what I'd find coming here, but I can't take responsibility for it either. But you can't be asking questions of someone who has no understanding of what it is to be immortal upon the earth, upon the sea, upon the soil. But it's not our fault. It's not our need to explain why he does what he does. The storm happens. That's all I know.
And the storm is coming.
It's the one that we could possibly stop. Whatever's down there be polluting the sea for far too long. We could put an end to it. This place may become a haven. The islands will be safe. Maybe that's why we're here. Maybe the Stormlord decided it's about time we get rid of it all. Get rid of the salt, zombies, whatever you want to call them. Protect the islands, protect the sea. And now is just the appropriate time to be doing it.
I admire your faith.
The job's to keep the boats afloat, even in the worst of storms.
Meanwhile, at another spot in the Hermitage, as this long night drags on and this wait continues, Nyx, you are preparing your quarterstaff, doing anything you can to keep it so you're not fighting these things directly hand to hand, and Keen comes and sits down next to you. Doesn't say anything.
Just gonna kind of nod at her and keep doing what I'm doing.
They pull out their flask, offer it to you.
I'll take a swig. Hand it back.
Take a very big breath, stand up, pat you on the shoulder, and move to where they're planning on posting up. You sit there for a moment in reflection. Nyx, what do you think about on this evening before what might be one of the longest nights?
I think about how crazy it is that of all the places to end up on a job, I got roped into this situation with curses and undead and who knows what, and wonder if things go well, if anyone will remember my name. After it's all said and done.
Tiff, you're taking a last walk on the outside of the first floor, checking things, and Torin, and it comes up onto your shoulder and it rubs his little head next to your face.
I know. It's always been better in the woods, hasn't it?
Just a little squeak.
Sorry. We have to go around people once in a while, eh? We can't just be by ourselves always.
Kind of skitters around your neck, ducks down into your clothes, then pops their head back up.
We'll be all right. We'll take care of our friends, and then me and you go get a pint, eh?
Sort of skitters down and begins to run back into the building. Stop, look at you. Run a little more. Stop, look at you.
I'm coming. I'm gonna get you.
Starts to run.
He's so cute.
Oh, I love the two brat.
Vela, where are you at this moment in this long night?
I probably would have taken up post in another one of the rooms that had the arrow holes for my crossbow.
You're looking out the arrow hole. You look back and you see a familiar cross-armed figure just leaning against the opposite wall.
What the hell was that for?
Nah. I like it here. I feel more. I can be more. I can do more here. I don't know what you've uncovered, but I like it here. I'm stronger.
You like it here, so you petrified me?
No, I was testing what I could do. I was not sure, but I am powerful here.
That's odd.
Perhaps it is one and the same with what you are preparing to face. You know, I could be helpful if you wanted. You saw what I did to you.
I couldn't turn that down if you're willing to help. We don't always see eye to eye, and I know I deny myself a lot, but I like these people. And
I don't care about them either way, but your survival is technically my job, so I will help on one condition.
there's always a catch. What do you want?
He puts a hand on your chest, and you feel a burn suddenly in your back, along your shoulder blades. And he pulls his hand back. You can't keep running from this. You and I will leave this island together. And you will not run from, you will run towards. Do you understand?
I understand, but
That is my condition if you want my help.
okay. I'll go with you, but I guess I'm afraid.
Nah, fear is for mortals. I don't understand it, but as long as you don't let it slow you down. And he actually fuses into you, and you feel this warmth come over your whole body for a second before it seems to fade away. And you all take these quiet moments of reflection in these posts that you've settled upon, the night sky sparkling, a hint of thunder in the distance, dark clouds several 100 feet away. And you wait. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Ooh, oh my
I
God,
almost
that was so much.
cried.
Oh, well, good. That's what I was going for.
It's actually still welling. I'm kind of like, oh, just keep it in.
Which part?
All of it was intense.
Y'all, I picked this adventure because I love the long night before the attack. Oh, I love it.
Can confirm Anders makes me cry multiple times in his games.
Aww.
It's true.
So that was our session tonight. We'll be back next week with the finale, the last stand of Firewatch Island, and then if they survive, we'll see what they are able to do about this rift beneath the surface. I believe we will be short a star next week, but I got a couple things brewing on what to do with our Nyx. We will hopefully be back a Nox and should be real good. I don't believe there's any invisible sun after this, but I believe that is back next week, so that's also very exciting. We're just gonna go ahead and go around opposite the order we went in at the beginning and have everyone reintroduce themselves, plug anything they want to plug, and share their favorite moment from tonight's session. So counterclockwise, based on the Zoom chat, Star.
I'm Star. You can find me on Twitter at MadRadStarChild. And what else am I supposed to say? I already forgot.
Anything you want to plug, anything you're doing on the internet that you want to talk about, and any favorite moments. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I liked that I found a brooch of shielding by investigating, even though I rolled pretty poorly, that investigating the trash was not completely worthless.
In the guide, it doesn't actually has a DC. It just says if anyone is brave enough to dig through the pile of waste, this is what they find.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
It's always good to dig through the poop. Anything you need to plug?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. Max.
Hi, I'm Max. I could be found on MaxD20 on Twitter, and I think my favorite part of the night was actually just the 2 times we saw a potential encounter and just went, nope.
Y'all did that twice. That was great.
Nope, the heck right out of there.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have the spoons for this, especially not the spell slots.
Yeah. All right. Any
We'll get them
plugs?
after. That'll be how we end it. The big boss of it will just be going in and fighting a coral snake.
Well, 3 of them actually. You didn't see the other 2, but
Oh,
God. Thanks.
anything you want to plug, Max?
I do want to mention that we put in our pitch for Urban Shadows Season 2 coming out in the fall, but that's going to be more on that coming out much later.
That's exciting. That's very exciting. All right. Cool.
I'm Cole. You can find me at Cormorel on Twitter. A couple things. I am very bad at looking at calendars, so I'm going to plug 2 things that are happening on the same night because I had to drop one of those things because oops. But Dadbod D&D is doing a Tomb Raiders one-shot, so you can catch Anders and some friends. I know Nat's going to be there also in the one-shot. So that's going to be Tuesday at 8:30 EST, I believe. So be sure to catch that. And then also we're going to be premiering From Us Came Dusk, which is a project Kyle has been working on, our favorite Technoscald. So be sure to maybe check that out. Don't know which one you're going to watch because they're at the same time. So oops. And that's what I have to plug, and I rambled a lot. I'm sorry.
You're fine. Favorite moment?
Favorite moment? Oh gosh. I kind of like that the first thing Thaddeus said to me when I woke up was like, I tried to help, but it wasn't ghosts. Like, thanks, bud. Appreciate that.
Okay. Christy.
All right, you can find me. I'm Christy, Polish Christy, on Twitter, Instagram, Discord, Twitch. I want to plug. What was it that I wanted to plug? Oh, if you do find me, what I wanted to say was it's just a recent idea, so it's still in the works, but I was thinking about starting to put together some care packages for soldiers overseas full of RPG and TTRPG stuff so that they can play over there. So if that's something that you may have thought about, get a hold of me, because we can potentially team up and figure out a way to like get some funds going for that, or donations or whatever of goods. And I just want to shove it all in a box so they have something to do with all of their time over there. Also, my favorite moment has got to be the end. Way too emotionally drained me for the night.
I agree with that. Yeah, the end was really great. I just
Awesome.
panicked and said the first thing that came to my head. So
Awesome. There's actually Operation Supply Drop, I believe, might do tabletop stuff. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know much about it, but
I looked into them. They do video games mostly. I'm gonna get a hold of. I'm gonna look into a few things. Like I said, it's literally something I've been thinking about the last few days. But if it's something that you
sounds
thought
awesome
about before, then maybe we can all team up or something. So
yeah, that's really cool. I love that. I'm Anders again. You can find me at Anders_D_K. My cat just almost knocked my whole camera out of whack, but she's fine. She got stuck. She got her claw on the curtain.
oh no.
They're really dumb. They don't know how to put their claws.
cat.
Fuck, what am I supposed to talk about? Plugs. Not plugging anything for tomorrow. Monday, back on my channel, Hats, Cats, and Clerics here on Twitch with some more date night, joined by the awesome, fantastic Samtastic. We're gonna be playing a game called Lightning Kissed, which is about the moments leading up to a first kiss. So I'm very excited to see how that goes.
Saucy.
Yeah, it's a little saucy. Tuesday, I'll be on Other Doc at like 7 playing Amber Diceless, and then immediately afterwards, we'll be on Dad Bod D&D playing Tomb Raiders, and I think that's it. I don't know. I'm really bad about writing down when I'm streaming.
Same.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna say. Those are my plugs. And favorite moment for me, I had several of them. I love the fact that y'all just noped right out of the green slime and the green coral snakes. That was great. I love how many of the defenses that this mentions that y'all can do that y'all did. I was like sitting here with my list of defending the fortress options, just checking things off because you prepped the arrow slits and you didn't kill certain things and you rigged the roof and you reinforced the doors and you found the oil of slipperiness. And I was like, yes, my players are good. They're smart. I was really excited about it.
Look what I have created!
Which means we get to play scenario 1 versus scenario 2, and I'm more excited about scenario 1. So, good job. Yeah, that's it. I think. Thank you, huge, absolute, amazing. Thank you to Nox, who was hit by the con crud, but still powered through running tech for us tonight. So grateful to you for doing that and being on top of it and wonderful. And I think that's it. Yeah. I guess maybe we should raid somebody. I don't have Twitch up. I don't know who's on right now. Last time Soul Bear was playing at the end of our game, so we could do that. I don't know if maybe Matthew's post Gen Con chat is still going on over on
It looks like they're still live.
maybe
Dice
we should
Priori's on, yeah.
yeah,
Dice Prairie.
let's raid Matthew. Let's do that. Let's annoy our friends who went to Gen Con.
You mean our other friends? Because we were there too.
Those of us who aren't here, who were there, should go bug the other ones who aren't here, who were there over
I got
there.
3 of you.
If that makes any sense at all. So yeah, so we're gonna do that, and love you all very much. Thank you for watching this evening. Tune in next week to see if they save all the people and close the rift, or if they die in the battle.
That'd be
Goodbye. I love you all. Let's go raid some Dice Priori. And we're